There's a special magic in the air when you're about to explore a place you've only dreamed of. For me, that place was Greece. The name alone conjures images of ancient gods, blue seas, and sunlit islands. My journey would begin in Athens, the cradle of Western civilization, before sailing to the enchanting island of Mykonos. I packed my bags with excitement, ready to step into a world of myths and legends. As my flight descended over Athens, the city's ancient pulse was almost tangible. I stepped out into the warm Athenian air, heart pounding with anticipation. The adventure was no longer a dream, it was about to begin. My Greek odyssey had started, and I was ready for every moment. Walking through Athens is like stepping into a living tapestry, where every street corner and every stone seems to echo with the voices of the past. The city's energy is both vibrant and timeless, as if the ancient and the modern are in constant conversation. Strolling through the winding alleys of Plaka, I felt as though I was moving through layers of history itself. The cobblestones beneath my feet have been worn smooth by countless generations, each leaving their own mark on this remarkable city. My first morning, I rose before dawn and climbed towards the Acropolis, the legendary heart of Athens. The air was cool and filled with anticipation, and as I ascended the ancient steps, the city slowly awakened below me. The Parthenon rose above the city, bathed in the soft light of sunrise, a breathtaking sight that made my heart race. Touching the cool marble, I could almost feel the pulse of centuries flowing through my fingertips. In that moment, I felt connected to centuries of stories, debates, and dreams. The marble seemed to hum with the energy of philosophers, artists, and citizens who once gathered here to shape the world. The Acropolis isn't just a collection of ruins, it's a living testament to the spirit of Athens, a place where democracy, philosophy, and art were born and continue to inspire. It's the soul of Athens, watching over the city with quiet dignity, reminding everyone who visits of the enduring power of human creativity and resilience. Later, I sat in the ancient theatre of Dionysus, where the world's first plays were performed. The marble seats, now empty, once held thousands of Athenians, all gathered to witness stories unfold under the open sky. I closed my eyes and imagined the voices of actors echoing beneath the stars, the laughter and applause of audiences long gone, and the timeless magic of storytelling that still lingers in the air. The sense of connection to the past here is overwhelming. Every stone, every column, every shadow seems to whisper secrets from another age, inviting you to pause and listen. As the sun set, the marble glowed gold, casting a warm, ethereal light over the city. The Acropolis seemed to float above Athens, timeless and eternal. The view from the heights was unforgettable. Athens stretched out in every direction, a tapestry of rooftops, temples, and distant hills, all bathed in the colors of dusk. From the summit, the city seemed to reach all the way to the shimmering Aegean Sea, a reminder of Athens' ancient connection to the wider world and its enduring legacy. Athens is a living museum where every street and square tells a story. The past and present blend seamlessly, creating a city that feels both ancient and alive. Standing among the ruins, I felt small, humbled by the scale of history and the achievements of those who came before me. Yet at the same time, I felt part of something epic, a shared human story that continues to unfold in this remarkable city. As a gentle breeze rustled the olive trees near the Parthenon, I realized I was just beginning to listen to Athens' ancient whispers, stories that have shaped the world and still have so much to teach us today. Descending from the Acropolis, I wandered into Plaka, a maze of narrow streets, bougainvillea and lively shops. The neighborhood felt like a living postcard, with every corner revealing a new splash of color or a hidden doorway draped in flowers. The gentle hum of conversation and laughter echoed off the old stone walls, blending with the distant strum of a bouzouki. It was as if time slowed down here, inviting me to savor every detail. The air was thick with the scent of souvlaki and fresh bread from family-run tavernas. Each aroma told its own story: smoky meat sizzling over open flames, the sweet warmth of bread just out of the oven, and the tang of olives and feta from nearby market stalls. The flavors of Plaka seemed to drift on the breeze, drawing locals and travelers alike to gather around tables set with the checkered cloths and clinking glasses. I stopped for moussaka at a small restaurant, savoring every bite. The dish was rich and comforting, layers of eggplant and spiced meat beneath a golden crust. Around me, families lingered over long lunches, sharing laughter and stories, while the owner greeted each guest like an old friend. It was more than a meal. It was a taste of Greek hospitality, warm and generous. Plaka's true charm is its people, families laughing, friends playing backgammon, shopkeepers greeting everyone. The sense of community was unmistakable. Children darted between tables, their parents chatting with neighbors, while old men debated over coffee and dice. Every smile and wave felt genuine, as if the whole neighborhood was one big family, eager to welcome newcomers into their daily rhythm. I chatted with an elderly woman selling handmade lace, hearing stories of old Athens. Her hands moved with practiced grace, weaving delicate patterns as she spoke of childhood memories and changing times. She told me about festivals, lost loves, and the resilience of her community. Her stories brought the past to life, connecting me to generations who had walked these same streets. These small moments of connection turned travel into cherished memories, whether it was a shared laugh with a stranger or a heartfelt conversation with a local. Each encounter added a new layer to my experience. In Plaka, I felt less like a tourist and more like a guest, welcomed into the heart of Athens. As evening fell, lanterns lit the streets and music drifted from tavernas. The neighborhood transformed, glowing with golden light and alive with the sounds of clinking glasses and spontaneous song. Couples strolled hand in hand and the air was filled with the promise of new friendships and unforgettable nights. I bought a hand-painted ceramic owl as a keepsake. The shopkeeper explained its meaning: wisdom, good fortune, a symbol of Athens itself. Holding it in my hand, I felt a connection to the city's ancient roots and its vibrant present, a small piece of Plaka to carry home with me. Walking back, I felt Athens' dual nature, ancient and vibrant, full of life and flavor. The ruins glowed softly in the dusk, reminders of a storied past, while the streets pulsed with energy and laughter. It was a city that wore its history proudly, yet never stopped embracing the present. The city had already found a place in my heart, its flavors and faces lingering in my memory long after I left its winding streets behind. On my last morning in Athens, I found myself standing in the gentle hush before sunrise, watching as the first golden rays touched the Parthenon. The ancient stones seemed to glow, bathed in the soft light of dawn, and for a moment time itself felt suspended. The Acropolis, perched high above the city, looked both eternal and fragile, a silent witness to centuries of dreams and stories. As I gazed out over Athens, a bittersweet pang welled up inside me, a mix of gratitude, nostalgia, and the quiet ache of impending departure. The city had become more than a destination. It had become a part of me, woven into my memories and my sense of self. I wandered through the quiet streets where the world was just beginning to stir. The Plaka neighborhood, usually bustling, was peaceful in the early light. Shopkeepers opened their doors. The aroma of fresh bread drifted from bakeries, and the city seemed to breathe a gentle sigh as it woke. Every corner I passed whispered stories of philosophers, poets, and gods. Athens had given me more than history. It had offered me a sense of connection, a feeling of wonder that lingered in every marble column and sunlit square. I felt humbled by the weight of its past and inspired by the energy of its present. My taxi ride to the port became a moving panorama of the city's transformation. We passed ancient ruins standing side by side with modern cafes and glass towers, a living testament to Athens' ability to honor its past while embracing the future. The city pulsed with life, a vibrant blend of old and new. Arriving at Piraeus, the bustling port, I was greeted by the sight of ferries lined up against the deep blue Aegean. The salty breeze carried the promise of adventure, and the sight of the open sea filled me with excitement for the journey ahead. The harbor was alive with travelers, each with their own story, each about to set sail toward new horizons. I turned for one last look at the Acropolis, now distant but still commanding, and whispered a silent thank you to the city that had welcomed me so warmly. It was a farewell filled with gratitude, a promise to return someday, and a hope that the spirit of Athens would travel with me. As the city faded into the morning haze, I realized it was time to leave the land of gods and philosophers behind. My suitcase felt heavier, not with souvenirs, but with memories and lessons that would stay with me long after I'd gone. With a deep breath, I stepped onto the ferry, heart full and mind open, ready to embrace the next chapter of my journey. The engines rumbled to life, and the anticipation of new adventures mingled with the lingering magic of Athens. Ahead lay the legendary Greek islands, places of myth and beauty, waiting to reveal their secrets. As the ferry pulled away from the shore, I looked forward with excitement, knowing that the spirit of Athens would guide me wherever I roamed. Boarding the ferry felt like entering a new world. As Athens faded behind me, the Aegean's sapphire blue stretched endlessly ahead. The sun and wind on my face, the city's bustle melted away, replaced by peace. The sea sparkled, seagulls soared, and distant islands appeared on the horizon. Each island promised its own story. The ferry ride was more than transport. It was a transition, a time for reflection. I thought of ancient mariners navigating these waters by starlight. The hours passed in a blissful haze of blue and sunlight. As the sea deepened in color, anticipation grew. Mykonos was waiting, and my heart was ready for discovery. My first glimpse of Mykonos was unforgettable. White houses tumbling down to a turquoise bay. The island's energy was a blend of laid-back charm and sophisticated glamour. Mykonos town, a labyrinth of stone-paved alleys, invited me to wander and get lost. Every turn revealed blue-domed chapels, flower-filled courtyards, and vibrant boutiques. I took a bus to Paradise Beach, where golden sand met crystal-clear water. The lively atmosphere was infectious, but I found a quiet spot to swim and soak up the sun. The water was so clear, fish darted around my feet. As the day ended, I felt the island's relaxed pace settle into my bones. Mykonos was more than a place. It was a feeling of freedom and joy. I was already under its spell. Little Venice is Mykonos's most romantic spot. Old fishing houses perched over the sea. I found a waterfront cafe, sipping a cool drink as waves misted my face. Above, the iconic windmills stood as silent sentinels, reminders of the island's past. I climbed the hill for a panoramic view: Mykonos town, Little Venice, and endless blue. At sunset, the sky blazed with color, casting golden light over the windmills and sea. People gathered in quiet awe, sharing the magic of the moment. As night fell, Little Venice sparkled with lights and laughter. The atmosphere was vibrant yet relaxed, the sea breeze gentle. The combination of history, romance, and beauty created an unforgettable memory. It was a perfect Myconian evening. Mykonos food is a celebration of fresh local flavors, especially seafood. At a beachside taverna, I savored grilled octopus and spicy kopanisti cheese on crusty bread. Even a simple Greek salad tasted like sunshine thanks to ripe tomatoes and rich olive oil. The island's people added warmth to every meal, bakers, fishermen, and winemakers sharing their stories. I visited a family-run vineyard, tasting crisp white wine that captured the island's essence. These encounters made the scenery even more meaningful. Each meal was honest, wholesome, and deeply satisfying. The true taste of island life was simple and authentic. As I watched the sun set over the vineyards, I felt contentment settle in. Mykonos had given me flavors and friendships to remember. As my Greek journey ended, I reflected on the contrasts: ancient Athens, carefree Mykonos, and the warmth of the people. These weren't just snapshots, but moments of genuine connection and joy. Travel reminds us to live in the present, to cherish the memories we gather. Every journey teaches us something new about the world and ourselves. The world is vast, full of magic and stories waiting to be discovered. I hope you've enjoyed this adventure with me. Until the next journey, the horizon calls. Our story has only just begun.